Okay, so we're trying this new device, which theoretically is going to pick up more sounds, hopefully, and I am going to turn that as we go. We do have a cat that's here. Turn it this way, okay. We have a cat that's here, and we just had some thunder in the background, so we'll see if that impacts anything, whether or not we get a storm. So we're going to start off with trying to get in sync. Okay, so how do you want to do that?
If we can all just close our eyes and sit comfortable.
And relax, okay.
Take a few breaths just to settle our energy away from outside and storms and things to do and all the things that normally occupy our mind. Come into connection just with the energy of the home. And Dom, if you can just state what you would like as we are here. What outcome and intent do you have for our visit?
Outcome and intent to learn more about the energy of this house and leave with a positive energy, I think.
So as we gather tonight, as we join together, we would invite all of those who have inhabited the house or the area prior, who are here with us in spirit. Perhaps they're here around one of us who sit in the room or within the home. Those who are at the level of love and light, who bring joy and beauty. Those who have a story that they wish to tell so that we might bring them peace. In hearing of their story, we invite you to come into our circle tonight. Come in a sincere intent to listen, to not judge, to bring healing and peace. Brandy, do you have anything to add?
They can maybe draw a little power off the storm if they are so inclined. And what we're going to do is, once again, we have equipment, and we would like to encourage you to communicate with us through this equipment. So we'll have recordings, we have the theremin, we'll have EMF meters. Concentrate your energy, communicate with us, let us know how you want to communicate, where you want to communicate, but we'd love to find out who you are. We found a little history on this house, and we'd like to see if this is who you are. So ideally, what I'd like to do, since Christy hasn't been here, is have her go with the two of you, just walk through the house, see if y'all sense anything anywhere, activity-wise, and you can't tell her, she's got to be the lead on this one. And then we'll move from there, either utilizing the newspaper articles and EMF, or going to those rooms and seeing what we can pick up that way, or a combination of both. All right. Whispering.
Sorry, Emily.
Yeah, I know. I got yelled at for a long time too. So again, concentrate your energy, interact with us in a positive manner. Dom's here, Raw's here. It's a safe space. We just want to find out who you
We all know Ross here.
are. He's adorable though. We love him.
He's like howling in the other room.
Okay, I'm gonna set the meter out. If there's any other equipment that you want me to set up, just let me know.
That's my camera turning on.
Okay, that's good.
I was gonna say, you just get it's a very strange sound for a camera.
It's the first time this thing is I've actually been able to use this.
Okay. Good. It's your turn to record this time.
So I'm gonna figure out how. Where's the on button?
There's something going on with that needle there.
Yeah, the needle is going off, isn't it? Okay. So we're getting some EM. Carissa, can you do me a favor and bring your camera over here just in case? Your wireless is off.
My phone? My phone is on airplane mode.
My phone is on airplane. No, you're okay.
I
You
can
don't
turn it
have
off
to.
completely. I mean,
No phone with you.
you know, I have some friends that do that, and I'm just like, that's amazing.
Increasingly, I have to
What? Turn it off or leave the
Just
phone?
leave it behind. And the times that I left it behind, it's like very liberating because then you just like,
Yeah.
it removes so much,
distraction.
yeah, from your head.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay, so you've got it. Let me just do a quick check. It's not setting anything off. So it's not that.
Yeah.
Nothing I'm holding.
What are you building?
This clock, Wayne gave it to me actually.
Ooh. Okay.
Maybe you can try to get it to work. I built it, but it just gets stuck. I forget what that thing is called. It gets stuck.
Pencil.
Well, I guess it technically is the pencil, but it has like the top part of it. What's it called? It actually has a troubleshooting guide in the back on how to fix it, but it's not in very good English. The palette. This piece keeps getting stuck.
You're getting drawn to the rational realm right now, man. Not conducive.
What do you do for a living?
Interior design.
So you've got that artistic vibe as well.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of tarot the last few years too, so
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right, you did the tower for the Halloween event.
That's right. I remember that.
it's like it helps. It's helped a lot because Aquarius or fixed air, so I'm just constantly in my head. So it's really helped me to like go other places.
I understand. I'm a Gemini with Capricorn rising, so
Okay.
I don't know. An anal retentive Gemini is weird. So that's okay. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Oh. Now, what time do the lights normally go out?
They've been going around, they've been going off lately, like close to 7, but before 7
Okay. So we'll look for that
in
again.
the evening.
Really?
What do you?
I don't remember that from last time.
That was there. It's
Was
not-
it?
Yeah, it's been there for, actually, it's funny, when I moved in, I put that up there just because I wanted to see if I liked having a painting up there at all,
Mhm.
and I wasn't gonna keep it up there. Like, it was literally just, I got it because of the frame,
Yeah, it matches very nicely.
and I was like, I wanted to see if that was a good spot, like, if that's what I wanted to put up there, and I never, and it's been there for since I took it down.
Reminds me of that like Hudson River School
Yeah.
style.
It's actually, like, if you look at it, I was looking at it closely, and it's very meticulously painted. It's like, it's actually a nice painting. When you first look at it, it looks very generic, but when you look at it closer, you're like, oh, it's actually, like, when you like go up to it and you look at it, you're like, oh, this is actually somebody painted this. It's not like a print. And so I was like, you know what, I respect
Florida
that,
landscaping.
and I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave it up there. Oh, is it? You think it could be Florida?
Could be.
Very flat.
It could be worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
just
find
have
a
it in my living
signature.
room.
Yeah.
I just have it in my living room here.
There was a Florida landscape artist who died not too long ago, I think. And his stuff is like really,
What's his? Do you know his name?
I don't remember.
He wasn't one of the highwaymen, was he?
He might have been.
Oh, he did.
He might have been. But if it's that
Because if
guy,
so, because I got a piece of
Yeah.
one of the highwaymen. I'll have to figure it out.
W.
I want to Google it. So your lights have been going off like automatically?
So it's interesting because before they did the investigation in December, I was having like random things going off. Lights go off, even with the like appliances, like the projector will go off randomly. Then they did the investigation. It stopped for like a while, and it started up again about, I want to say 2 months
Months
ago.
ago, yeah.
And
And we did.
It's funny because before they did the investigation, she's like, oh, the activity might like stop for a while.
Mhm.
And I kind of was like, whatever, I didn't really think that much about it. And then I was like, wait, there actually
Mhm.
has not been activity for a while. So
And are all these things on wireless that you're talking about? I mean, there's no way that somebody hacked in or that you're on somebody else's system.
It's possible, I guess. Yeah,
But the only thing is that it stopped going off for
it did.
2 or 3 months, so somebody would have to be out of this area if you're on their wireless
I don't
somehow.
know.
I have a light bulb that you can turn it on and off with like a remote control, and you can change the colors and stuff.
Mhm.
This was a while ago, but it started turning on and off by itself. And at first, I kind of dismissed it because I'm like, all right, well, it's just picking up RF from somewhere.
Mhm.
But then it was happening like pretty frequently, and so I started to try to communicate with it. I got some really interesting results. Like I would ask it to like turn red, and it would like turn red, and
That
I'd
is
be like,
interesting.
turn green, and it would turn green, and it's like, okay, that's weird.
Okay. Well, I know actually I was in my studio last week, and it's either the ghost or it's something natural. I mean, that's what it is. But I had walked in because I was getting some art to do a trade out, and I'm running late, so the light was on, and I'm in the middle of the studio, trying to pick my pieces, and all of a sudden they went out. I'm like, oh great, because I'm the only one in the building, so, and I have no windows. My studio is like entirely enclosed, but I have a phone, so I'm like, click, got back, and the switch was still on. I had to turn the lights on by turning it off. So either the switch is going bad, so I reported it to the landlords, and they're like, they said something like, well, maybe the spirits member said maybe there's another switch that controls it. I'm like, I've been there 3 years
Right.
in that specific space. I was in the other space for 2 years, and even if there is another switch, who flipped it? Because I was there at 7 at night alone.
Yeah.
So who's doing it? So Florida Craft Art doesn't seem to be that concerned, but I'm like, well, if it's a wiring issue, you might want to have somebody maybe
Yeah.
change the switch just to make sure, because I would hate, and I've had this happen where I'm like, oh my gosh, it might be the ghost, and I'm like, you know what, you really need to report this because it might not be the ghost,
Right.
and that would be a really
might be a fire
bad
hazard.
reason.
Yeah.
So, but I've never had a light actually do that literally while I was there in the room.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And again, like I said, I would understand if there's another switch, but I know the people that were in there 10 years before me, they've never said it. I can't find it, and I'm alone.
Yeah.
So, okay. So we'll see. We'll see
Yeah.
if it was the ghost or not. But he said they said, well, their lights are still off and the switch is in the up position. I'm like, well, you still may want to check the switch, please. I would, I mean, my stuff may survive a fire, but I'm not
Right.
sure about everybody else's.
Oh, right, because yours is it's metal.
Yeah, I mean, it'll make it. I'll get something out of it, but so it's been kind of strange. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. And I'm trying to think for your paranormal pets episode, if you want me to shoot you some questions. I mean, it would just be kind of, tell me how you got to Rosa Park, and tell me how you got Raw, and how does Raw interact with your house, and we talk a little bit about the investigations, and then we would tie that into the tour because we're plugging that tour. So
Yeah, we should. We need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about the vendors, and we want more people to come through, this year, just for the vendors to give them.
and we need more light. At least I do. I'll have to dig up light if I have anything to.
We talked about that because we're going to be moving into the park.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool though.
Like
and
light, like to carry like lanterns. and
oh, are
stuff?
you talking about on the tour or at the booth?
Oh no heavens, I was fine on the tour at the booth.
At the booth,
because
it was
I
dark.
just
Remember?
yeah.
And that
Yeah.
it was dark. We were talking about
We could just toss an extension cord into what's her face's house, and
who's.
oh, we're not gonna be there this year. We're down.
There is an outlet. We can
Is
use. Yeah, there is an outlet in the park. We could use.
We could get a generator, but they're like noisy.
And yeah. So it's just figuring that part out.
There's
And they're tying that out. I'll walk through.
there's more light in the park area, but we were talking about cutting some of those lights because we're trying to do a movie.
Right.
Unless you cut some lights in part of the park and not in the other.
Maybe we just put some like sackcloth over the globe or something.
Oh, is that your? I was like, what's that sound? I just realized you're gone. Sorry.
I'll just throw like a pillowcase over them or something. But
So if anybody is here,
Well, it's the street lights
uh,
that are a
I was
little.
thinking of those historic ones.
Historic ones are.
did
not
y'all
as
put
good.
up some new signs?
Who?
Entrance signs, were those always there?
Mhm. Well, not always. I think they were put in.
Relatively new.
They're
They're
new,
not
but
new, but the
Okay.
last few years.
what, like 8 years ago?
Yeah, because Christy's been here before. Well, not here, but she's been in the neighborhood. I didn't remember them from last time.
Yeah.
They're nice. They're nice though.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this will be. I did get into the Ghost Stories show at Florida Craft Art.
What's that?
So in October they're doing a Ghost Stories art show, and so everybody's like, "Yeah, I got like 15 people sending me stuff. Like, you need to apply." And I don't know how. I'll pause this for a second, and that's when all the activity. I guess I can't, but oh well, we'll just delete this part of the video. But I don't know how I feel because Florida Craft Art has a habit of ripping my heart out. You know, so they'll either like do something really awesome, and you're like, "Oh my gosh," or they'll be like, "You suck." I'm like, "Okay, great." So I was waiting to see what would happen because I'm like, I'm gonna submit. You could submit up to 5 works, so I did. And I had built a piece. I built a piece called La Lorena, which is life-size wire. I went out and bought like $36 worth of lace from Hospice Thrift Store, and she's all laced up, and I think it is a really cool piece. She has a big orb of selenite in the middle. She lights up. She changes color. She has white jade eyes, and that was the piece I really wanted for this show. The second piece that I thought would get in is a 4-time award-winning Headless Horseman piece that's been in my studio forever. And then I've had Headless Horse Mermaid, Horseless, Headless Mermaid. I don't know what I should call her. I had a crown of shadows, and then I had a drip painting coffin that I added a couple things to. And they picked the Headless Mermaid, which I'm okay with because it's my signature style, it's my art, and it's what I'm known for. And then they picked this little coffin, and I'm like, but not the piece is specifically made for this show that I love, and it has
Maybe it
gotten so many compliments.
Maybe it was just too large. Maybe they were looking for smaller pieces.
I don't know, but I was just like, okay. So
That sometimes happens. Like,
yeah, it's okay. It's the judge. It is the process. It could be worse. I could have been
Yeah.
completely rejected. It's one of those things where I was so sure on that piece. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I'll have a backup.
the universe has another purpose for it.
And that's what I'm thinking too. I'm just like, all right, there are about 15,000 other Halloween things I'll be doing, so she'll get out there somewhere.
Mm.
But it was just, I mean, she made herself. It was just that kind of.
Yeah.
It took me 2 days. I mean, that was remarkably fast for a piece that big.
Yeah.
It's fine. So, I don't know. It's a win. It's still a win.
Right.
That in the one column.
Right.
But it was just shocking, I guess. So, but Florida Craft Art actually turned over like all 5 positions. Katie is going to be like some sort of like about the state. She's going to go out and try to drum up Florida Craft Art other
Charlotte
places.
was leaving too. And,
She's gone. We now have Michelle Stone.
uh,
They had a new person who was the building manager. She's gone, and we have Rebecca. Now she seems to be pretty good. There's a new director, a new assistant gallery manager. I mean, all 5 positions are brand new.
it's crazy.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just kind of go, okay, it'll be okay.
Cheers.
Well, like I said, it's very weird because Art Lofts is like part of them, but we're like the redheaded stepchildren, so they don't pay any attention to us. And then when they do, like in January, they did this whole new contract, and it was awful. I mean, it was miserable. The artists were very upset. We're like having meetings. We had to meet with. I mean, it was like a month or 2 process. People wouldn't sign them. They were that bad because they had a lawyer redo it. And she was like, oh, well, really, we're going after different tenants than you guys, but it's the meanest thing I could come up with. And then all of our concerns are basically explained away. Or not explained away, but
Just
dismissed.
Sidelines, yeah.
So it's just kind of one of those things where it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep my head down. But I still can't believe they didn't take the piece, the one. So, it's fine. I'll do something. We're still not getting much on here.
So what's this camera do?
This is actually just the regular cell phone camera, but I got a little setup for it because I always get yelled at. Haha, poor. I didn't screw this down well enough, I guess. It actually is one that you can take apart and you can like reorganize it, which is kind of cool. But I always get yelled at because my camera, I tend to record this way. So when we review videos, they want it this way. So I'm like, okay, I will actually get something that